If you visit one of San Francisco's neighborhoods, you'll see what makes our city so special. I was in North Beach the other day, and it was full of life. Young people in Washington Square Park, tourists lining up for Italian pastries, police officers walking the beat, stopping to talk with some small business owners. One officer told me that crime in the neighborhood had dropped so significantly that instead of rushing from crisis to crisis, they now have more time to get to know the people they serve. There is no doubt that our city is moving in the right direction, and we still have so much work left to do. When families across San Francisco sit down for dinner at night, the rising cost of rent, healthcare, food, and gas has many asking whether they can afford to stay. In a region as wealthy as this one, in a moment where the world is looking to San Francisco to define the future, we cannot leave people behind. Hardworking San Franciscans who make this city the vibrant, dynamic place we all know and love. Now, I have been given every opportunity in life, but I've committed my career to the fact that not everyone has. For most, this city feels more expensive and unaffordable than ever before. Today, I'm proud to submit a balanced budget that is fiscally responsible and strengthens our social safety net. So even in the face of federal cuts, San Franciscans know they can count on this city. This year's budget closes a $642 million two-year deficit, moving our city forward for all San Franciscans. Last July, just as our city was getting back on track, the federal government passed H.R. 1, making it harder for people across this country to access the critical health care and food assistance they depend on. When people lose health care coverage, they turn to our public hospitals. And when the federal government cuts funding, those costs fall to the city of San Francisco unless we help people keep the benefits they need. Today, I'm speaking to you from one of the city's benefits centers in the Mission, where hundreds of San Franciscans come every day to get health benefits, access food assistance, and find work. This budget strengthens the work happening right here, using funding from the emergency reserve we set up last year to respond to sweeping federal cuts. We are dedicating $34 million to help San Franciscans stay on Medi-Cal and CalFresh. We are hiring case managers to help families navigate the new requirements. And we are committing $120 million to help families stay housed so that one missed paycheck or emergency medical bill doesn't lead to homelessness. As Washington signals that more cuts are coming, we are creating a new $100 million reserve so that we are prepared for what comes next. So that parents like Annette, a single mom in the Bayview, know that we have their backs. Annette takes Muni to work. Her child goes to one of our SFUSD middle schools. And like a lot of working families, she has months when Medi-Cal and CalFresh help bridge the gap. When her daughter gets sick, she depends on our public health system for care. Like so many parents I meet every day, Annette is determined. And she isn't asking for someone else to solve her problems. She's asking for a city that supports working families. That is the city we are building. And we will continue supporting working families and all San Franciscans by prioritizing the safety and well-being of our communities. This budget protects legal services for immigrant families. It continues critical support for LGBTQ+ and trans residents. These communities have shaped who we are as a city, and we will continue to invest in their safety, no matter what. This budget also allocates funding for a modernized fleet of police cars and fire trucks to keep our city safe, a new backup system that keeps 911 up and running during power outages, Also, a major increase in street repaving and pothole repair, security improvements at public health facilities so that our nurses, doctors, and social workers are safe while they care for others. It also reflects new responsible labor agreements for our firefighters and police officers, keeping our city on stable financial footing while also helping us recruit the next generation of first responders. San Francisco is able to make these investments now because 17 months ago, we stopped spending more than we can afford. When I came into office, City Hall was using one-time funds to cover a growing deficit and leaving the bill for someone else to pay. That wasn't sustainable, and it wasn't fair to the taxpayers and the people who depend on city services. Under my administration, we will not fall back on temporary fixes that force deeper cuts year after year. Last year, in partnership with the Board of Supervisors, we began moving beyond that cycle. This budget builds on that progress by reducing our long-term structural deficit by approximately $300 million. My administration has saved taxpayers $100 million and counting by slowing hiring and focusing on filling roles that provide core services. We reviewed grant contracts and created the city's first performance-based contract for health and homelessness services. Now, we didn't tell departments to do more with less. What we said was, focus on what matters most to our recovery and then deliver results. I know these decisions have very real impacts. But if we fail to act now, our structural deficit will grow to $1 billion. And the difficult choices before us today will become even more painful and costly tomorrow. Now, this administration has worked to minimize impacts for city workers while safeguarding San Francisco's long-term financial health. And with a plan to save another $80 million through reorganization and attrition, we will deliver high-quality public services while living within our means. In San Francisco, we are proving that common sense and discipline can drive a broad economic recovery. Last year, we invested in public safety, and today crime continues to hit record lows. We transformed our homelessness response, and now the number of people sleeping on our streets is the lowest it has been in 15 years. And we showed off the best of our city with events like Super Bowl 60 and soon the World Cup. And as a result, tourism is now set to surpass 2019 levels. We stood up for our families, launching a major expansion of free and low-cost childcare so families can afford to live here. And as always, we continue to stick to our values. Last fall, when the federal government shutdown put food assistance at risk, we joined forces with philanthropic partners to get $18 million in food assistance out the door to 112,000 San Franciscans in just 7 days. Today's budget carries this work forward, ensuring that in San Francisco, families can afford to live here, businesses can grow, and communities can thrive. Now, you can feel the momentum. Jobs are up, businesses are opening, muni ridership has reached post-pandemic highs. To keep moving forward, our businesses need certainty. We cannot undermine this fragile recovery by pushing jobs out of the city. Let me be clear, no one outside San Francisco is coming to save us. We're going to do it ourselves with the resources we have. We're going to do it by staying laser focused on creating the conditions for a broad and durable recovery. That means rebuilding the ranks of our police department, ensuring Muni is safe, reliable, and affordable for generations to come, continuing to cut red tape and make it easier to start and grow a small business through Permit SF, and by cleaning up a system that too often works for the insiders and special interests. My administration will continue to be accountable to you, the people of San Francisco. You know your government is working for you when the bus shelter is clean and you feel safe on your way to work, or when it's easy to get a permit for a neighborhood block party. I've seen firsthand how much pride our city workers take in making that happen. The librarians who help a child discover a love of reading, the firefighters and police officers who run toward danger, the crews who repair our muni tunnels and keep our roads safe. In the weeks ahead, I will partner with Board President Mandelman, Budget Chair Chan, and the entire Board of Supervisors to finalize this budget. Last year, we stabilized the city's finances. This year, in the face of new challenges, we are continuing to stand together as San Franciscans. In our city, we step up, we solve problems, and we look out for one another. San Francisco is a city on the rise, and we're not leaving anyone behind. Thank you, and let's go San Francisco.